Well, here's a little story a little closer to home for you.
Okay.
This is in Columbus, which is about 130 miles south of you.
Yeah.
A drug used to sedate elephants.
Okay.
What I want to know is, why in Ohio is there a drug that used to sedate elephants?
Well, there's a big elephant rush here.
Apparently.
You obviously haven't visited the metro parks lately.
I guess.
They just run through there like crazy.
Sure. A drug used to sedate elephants and other large animals.
Yeah.
100 times as potent as the fentanyl, already escalating the country's heroin troubles, is suspected in spates of overdoses in several states, where authorities say they found it mixed with or passed off as heroin.
Ugh.
So these drug dealers are mixing in this elephant tranquilizer in with their heroin.
I gotta think, and maybe I'm crazy here, but I gotta think it's harder to get elephant tranquilizer than heroin.
Well, you would think that.
You would,
but I don't know where that comes from, to be honest with you. But they're selling it. They're selling it on the street.
Hey, where are they getting it from? The local zoo?
I don't know.
Where else would you get that?
The appearance of carfentanil, that's CARFENTANIL, carfentanil.
Okay.
One of the most potent opioids known to investigators, adds another twist to the fight against opioid painkillers in the country already awash in heroin and FENTANYL, fentanyl.
Fentanyl,
yeah, cases. And it certainly is a very disturbing trend, Ohio Attorney General Mike DeWine said.
Yeah,
this is really disturbing. People are shooting this shit up.
Yeah, no shit.
A man suspected of selling carfentanil, carfentanil as heroin was indicted this week in Central Ohio on 20 counts, including murder. In connection with a July 10th death and 9 other overdoses that happened within hours of one another.
Jesus.
So this guy is selling these really potent drugs, and people are shooting it up and going, ugh!
Where was he arrested at? The main ring of the Ringling Brothers Circus?
Right.
And where the fuck do you get this shit?
I don't know. Some of the surviving users told investigators they thought they were buying heroin. Now, who is a heroin shooter and in taking interviews?
You know.
Hey, do you shoot heroin? Yeah, I did. And this guy sold me something that was like really potent.
Yeah. Well, somehow I got a feeling that they're being interviewed in the hospital.
Right.
You got to think that that's where they're
how do you find from? These people go, you know what? Did you shoot this shit up? Yeah, I did. And it was really fucked up, man.
Dude, I was just trying to get a little H. I'm fucking elephant tranquilizer. Or ET, as we call it on the street.
Right. That's just funny that whoever this is reporting this, we're able to find these people to interview them.
Got to be in the hospital.
Oh, yeah. They're laid up in the bed. They can't move.
Yeah, it's got to be that, the hospital called the police. These fucking douchebags hang around the hospital. Get the story.
Yeah. So anyway, some of the surviving users told investigators they thought they were buying heroin, but testing found none. Franklin County Prosecutor Ron O'Brien said the suspect, 36-year-old Rayshawn Alexander.
White guy, right?
There you go. I was waiting for that.
Rayshawn, he's a white guy.
He pleaded not guilty.
Yeah.
Of course he did. Investigators are still trying to track down the source of the carfentanil. Mm-hmm. So that answers our question. We have no idea where that came from.
Right.
DeWine said he wasn't aware of any thefts of the drug, which he noted could be shipped from abroad or produced here.
Okay.
All right. So we don't know the origin of where the shit comes from.
It's coming in from Zimbabwe somewhere.
Apparently, Chinese companies sell carfentanil online. They sell it online?
Nice.
Hey, you need some elephant drugs? Got an elephant at home that's a little out of control?
Right.
Calm his ass down with some of this carfentanil.
Yeah, really.
You can buy it online. But it hasn't shown up much in the U.S. drug supply, According to the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration, there hasn't been much evidence of carfentanil on the streets or in testing related to criminal cases. Let's see here. The drug has been suspected of overdoses were found in seized drugs in central Kentucky. Watch out, Nathan.
Yeah, really.
In Psycho Postman. And in Florida's Tampa Bay.
No shock that it's coming from Florida now, is there?
None at all. From Tampa Bay and Sarasota areas, as well as other Ohio cities. This is close to you. Okay. Akron authorities. Up again.
Mike is just fucking up again.
Let's spray some shit on my mic.
All right. Your cable's not loose again, is it? Dum da dum da dum da dum da dum.
All right. I just sprayed my pot here.
All right.
Let's see here. This is close to you, as I said. The Akron authorities have seen over 230 overdoses in July.
Wow.
Just in a month.
Man, that's a lot.
Let's see, 230 divided by 31. It's 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180. So that's 7 a day.
7 a day.
7 a day.
Nice. It's one way to thin the herd.
Yeah. Akron authorities have seen over 230 overdoses in July, 20 of them fatal. 20 people died.
Of elephant drug.
Yeah. And police said evidence of carfentanil was found in some of those.
Jeez.
So people near you are shooting the shit up.
They're just dying left and right.
Apparently. Carfentanil is thought to be similar in strength to painkiller known as W18, which has shown up in heroin in Philadelphia, New England, and Canada.
Okay.
Carfentanil is so powerful that zoo veterinarians typically wear a face shield, gloves, and other protective gear. Other protective gear. There we go. Just a little bit short of the hazmat suit.
Right.
When
Mike's done. That microphone is dead. And silence.
I don't think it's the mic. It's the board.
You think the board's having a problem?
No, I think on the board it's having some kind of electrical problem. But anyway, they wear a face shield, gloves, and other protective gear.
Okay.
When preparing the medicine to sedate animals, because even one drop splattered on a person's eye or a nose could be fatal.
Wow.
So that's how strong the shit is.
These guys are fucking shooting it in their arm.
Yeah, they are, but they're doing it unknowingly.
Jesus.
Because they're mixing it in with their supposed heroin.
My goodness.
A loaded syringe of reversal drug is kept on hand just in case, and the extremely limited carfentanil supply regulations allow for such facilities to keep locked away and subjected to auditing.
Okay. Investigators
are taking the risk seriously. In the bulletin to law enforcement agencies last week, DeWine's office discouraged police from field testing suspected heroin or fentanyl for fear it would contain carfentanil or other potentially harmful synthetic opioids.
Well,
instead, the office recommended sending samples straight to the lab for testing. So, in other words, this stuff is so potent, don't even test it. Don't even touch it.
Yeah, just send it off.
Yeah. DeWine said drug use for animals have showed up in street drugs before, but carfentanil is so new on the investigative scene that the state's crime lab didn't even have a standard for comparing the samples. So this stuff is so new and so powerful,
right,
that they don't even know how to deal with it.
So this is the new flakka.
Apparently it is.
Well,
this is the new bath salts.
Right. There we go.
In some suspected carfentanil cases, emergency responders have had to administer multiple doses of overdose antidote naloxone, Naloxone. Naloxone.
Sounds good to me.
Often known by the brand name Narcan, Narcan, Narcan.
Okay.
To save people, even though the antidote may not be enough. So this stuff is so strong that even if they give you the antidote,
yeah,
it's not enough.
Not going to work.
No. Dr. Langshimi, the Hamilton County coroner in Cincinnati, publicly warned users during a recent news conference, Narcan may not save you on this one.
Yeah, pal.
Yeah, so don't be shooting that shit up, because even if we have the antidote, may not be strong enough or enough to, save your ass.
Sounds like a death row drug to me.
No shit. Hail and kill, caller. You're on the air.
Serves them right for being a heroin addict in the first place. I mean, what kind of a nong becomes a heroin addict in the first place?
Somebody who worships Nikki Sixx.
Well, Nikki Sixx was an idiot for becoming a heroin addict as well. So,
yeah, but he wrote the best Motley Crue music ever. The soundtrack of some people's lives.
Well, he also cleaned up and got himself sober. But yes, he was an idiot.
Yeah,
he was an idiot. I'm sick to death of these. Oh, I've got such a hard life. I have to take drugs. Fuck you.
Yeah. They don't live the life of Tim. They don't live the life of Tim James.
That's right.
No, it's nothing to do with that. It's just like people know the risks.
Do they know the risks, or do they not? They just don't care.
Well, if they don't care, I hope they die.
Well, Tim, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm on your side here. I believe. I believe that we all, you, me, Chris, all of our CMS fans, we're given the gift, and I call it a gift because we can choose to go any direction we choose to live a prosperous, happy life, or you could end up 6 feet under. And my point is, and Chris used the term tonight, it's thinning of the herd. And if somebody dies of a drug overdose, I just look at it as we just weeded out the weak.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I understand people get into things and stuff, but I mean, some of the people we live around, they deserve to be shot. I'm just like, just kill them all. Anyway, hail and kill.
Well, look at Tim. He's got a very very strong message there.
Yeah, and considering he probably takes 30 drugs a day.
Sure.
To get through his life.
So what's your thoughts, Chris? I mean, I said what I thought to Tim, that, I personally, and maybe it's just my old crusty age of 52, but I am not into thinking that I can save the world or save any individual if somebody falls into that quote-unquote trap.
Yeah.
That's a choice. And if you die from that choice, my point is, and I have no empathy for that, and I don't mean to sound like one of those mean, harsh, Republicans, but if you fall into that trap and you succumb to that decision you made, my point is I just weeded out another one of the week.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't even have to be weak. Some people just don't want to live that long.
True. Maybe they were just out of shit. Maybe it was time for them to go.
Maybe 40's it. Maybe 50's it. Maybe they don't want to be 70. That's a whole nother piece. Is why does everybody think that the end game has to be old?
Well, because longevity is the benchmark of life, that you lived a full life.
See, that's one way to look at it. I don't look at it like that at all. To me, I look as accomplishment is the benchmark of life. And once you've done what you want to do, get the fuck out. Give somebody else a shot.
I think that I've referenced this before, and I'll reference it again. I think Doug Stanhope had it best in his stand-up comedy. If you've never seen this stand-up comedy, and I've said this a million times before, it's called No Refunds. You can get it on Netflix. It's on DVD. He said that, if he were to die today, and I think he filmed this like 6-8 years ago or something like that. He was like 38 years old.
Sure.
He was just like, if I died today, maybe I needed to die because I was just out of shit. I'm done. I've already accomplished everything that I'm going to accomplish at this juncture in my life. They talk about Kurt Cobain or even Jimi Hendrix or Janis Joplin, and they go, oh, he died so young. He had so much more to give. Yeah. And he's like, how do you know? Maybe that was the pinnacle. Maybe that was it. Maybe that's as far as their life was meant to be. He goes, do you want to see Jimi Hendrix performing at the Super Bowl with Elton John? Going, Rocket Man, wow, and you're going, what the hell happened to that guy?
Right.
It's like maybe he reached the pinnacle at 27 or whatever the case may be, and he checked out. It's like, okay, I'm done. I'm out of shit. 27's my limit.
Right, and it could be. I mean, dude, my brother is real big in the bucket list thing.
Okay.
Like for him, he's like, he literally has a list of things that he wants to do and hasn't done or whatever.
Okay.
And a year or two ago, him and I were talking, and he asked me if I had a bucket list. And I said, no, because I've already done everything I want.
Sure.
And he's like, well, you need to make a new list. I'm like, no, I don't. I've done everything I want to do. Now I'm just going to coast it out until I drop dead.
Sure. Well, I'm going to tell you a personal story.
All right.
There are a list of people in my life that have had some kind of impact or influence on me.
Okay.
And I have met every one of them.
Okay. Nice.
And for me personally, that is an accomplishment.
Sure.
Everybody in my life, famous or unfamous or whatever, that has had an influence on me in some regard, I have met every single one of them.
Right.
And I'm proud to say that. And it's just like, you know what? That to me is just an accomplishment that, wow, you know what? Everybody that I looked up to or thought that they had some kind of influence or, that I felt that influenced me in some way, I've got to meet them face to face, shake their hand and say, you know what? You've influenced me.
Sure.
Everybody. And there is not one person on this world or in this earth or in this mortal coil that I think to myself, man, I'd like to meet that person.
Right.
There's not one left because I've met them, all of them.
Sure.
And to me, I was just like, wow, I can't believe that. I've met everybody that I've ever wanted to meet, or attended every show I wanted to see, or, studied whatever I wanted to, or saw whatever it is. And at this point, and I don't mean to sound ungrateful, but at this point, I'm coasting day to day. I'm just like, you know what? I've done what I've wanted to do. I've accomplished what I wanted to do, and now I'm just enjoying myself.
Yeah. See, that's how I'd like to. I have a couple things now that I'd like to get done. As far as I've got 2 more books that I want to get out, and I've got, obviously I want to get the museum over, and Aiken IT a little bit on firmer ground for my kids. But other than that, as far as stuff, I've toured the world. I've been to 30 countries. I've been to all the states, or most of the states, any that I want to go to. I've done the radio thing, which is what I wanted to do from the time I was a little kid. I've hung out with rock stars, which is what I always wanted to do. I've been in a band, which is something I wanted to do. I don't got nothing else to do. I don't have anything burning that it's like, oh man, I gotta hang around so I can get that done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah, it's like, whatever, dude. If I drop dead today, okay, whatever.
I agree. Hey, Alan Kill calling on the air.
I just want to make one more quick point as well.
Well, Tim, Tim, before you start, make sure it's a good one, because I'm going to be really pissed if you called 3 times in a row and don't have anything really good to add. So go ahead.
Okay, all this stuff about, I'm a drug addict, so it's a disease. No, it's not. It's a choice. And the other thing is, I'm gay, so there's a gene. No, there's not. I chose to suck a penis. So it's not a gene. It's a chosen behavior. So anyway, bye.
The only thing I got out of that is that I chose to suck a penis. That's the part I enjoyed the most.
Yeah, there you go.
Because he said it like P-A-N-A-S. Penis.
Yeah. Penis.
Penis. I chose to suck a penis.
Yeah, pal.
So good. I loved it. But I still love Tim, though. Right, not in not a gay way, though.
I'm glad you do.
Sure. All right. I chose to suck a penis. That would be like a great line for the CMS tagline. The classic metal show. I chose to suck a penis.
You should add that to the closing of the show.
Sure.
That should be the very last thing. Ta-ta, cats. I chose to suck a penis.
Exactly. Maybe I can just grab that out of there and put that in there.
Yeah, for 2 weeks from now.
I chose to suck a penis. So good.